Hello and welcome to African News 24 TV, where we keep you updated on news and events happening on the African continent and around the world. I am Praise Adeleke. First, let's take the headlines. Morocco youth protest goes bloody as police shoots down 2 protesters. Nigeria's presidential aspirant Alhaji Atiku Abubakar vows to stay in the race, says he steps down for no one. Lagos State Governor promises commitment to blue economy. Now the news in full. We begin in Morocco, where the protest that started on Tuesday has gone fatal, with at least 2 deaths recorded by the protesters. The 2 protesters were killed when the police shot them in an attempt to prevent invasions to each station by the angry youth. This is the first death in the 5-day-long demonstration. The youth are asking for better health and education and raising their voice against corruption. They are accusing the government of spending so much in preparation for the 2030 World Cup, while basic sectors are left unattended. And in Nigeria, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2023 election, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, has vowed not to step down for any contender in the race. Alhaji Atiku, a top contender and member of the coalition party, African Democratic Congress, says he goes head-to-head with no one else joining the race. The spokesperson of the former Vice President, Mr. Paul Ibe, in a statement says this position becomes necessary because of some insinuation from some quarters from the interview he granted the BBC Hausa service. According to Mr. Ibe, no one in the video or the transcription of the interview did Alhaji Atiku state or imply intention to withdraw from the future contest. In the statement, Mr. Ibe says, quote, "What Atiku Abubakar clearly and ambiguously said was that young people as well as other prospective presidential aspirants are free to enter the contest." He further stressed that if a young candidate were to emerge through a competitive primary, he would readily support such candidates without hesitation. While interpretative journalism is a legitimate aspect of reporting, stretching interpretation to the point of mischief is unacceptable and must not be encouraged. End of quote. Meanwhile, some supporters of the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, have been responding to the former vice president's comments on his readiness to step down from any younger, more vibrant and more resourceful contender who defeats him in a transparent primary. The supporters under the aegis of the Obedience Movement, the loyal support base of Peter Obi, described Mr. Atiku's position as a political strategy rather than a genuine commitment. The group's national coordinator and Mr. Obi's former campaign spokesperson, Mr. Tanko, says the principal would not participate in a primary process heavily influenced by financial inducement. He insists that Obi's principles stand in sharp contrast to the widespread use of money, particularly foreign currency, to sway delegates during party primaries. He also pointed out that the current political environment does not favor candidates who are not financially empowered through state resources or backroom deals, making it harder for sincere aspirants with limited funds to compete fairly. From harnessing the vast potential of its waterways to promoting sustainable innovation, Lagos State is setting the pace for Africa's blue economy. At the Africa Blue Economy Summit in Lagos, the state governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, reaffirmed his commitment to driving growth, climate adaptation, and prosperity through the state's marine resources. The summit, themed Harnessing Africa's Blue Natural Capital for Sustainable Growth, brought together global leaders, policymakers, and stakeholders to chart a course at the continent's maritime future. African News 24 correspondent Lydia Ajayi has the report.
The governor of the state, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to building a sustainable blue economy that harnesses the state's waterways for innovation, growth, and the prosperity of future generations. Speaking as chief host at the Africa Blue Economy Summit in Lagos, team Harnessing Africa's Blue Natural Capital for Sustainable Growth, the governor emphasized Lagos' resolve to integrate sustainability, climate adaptation, and economic development into its long-term vision.
Converse with water and allow that we shift.
Sorry, excuse me. You are doing well, you are doing well, you are doing well. You don't want. Well, you are doing well, you are doing well.
And there's several activities which also can transform that from city and rises from the party.
You are actually doing well, so just relax.
Also addressing participants, Lagos State Commissioner for Transportation, Oluwaseun Osiyemi, described the summit as a vital platform to harness Africa's marine resources for prosperity and inclusive growth.
This flagship environmental effort unites youth, scientists, business leaders, sports icons, and policymakers in a shared mission, which is restoring our mangrove ecosystems, which are vital for coastal resilience, biodiversity, and climate mitigation.
Co-founder and chairman of the new AN24 series, Alejandro Agag, praised Lagos for its efficiency and commitment to sustainable transportation. On his part, the president of Team Drogba Global Africa, DJ Drogba, said he was very proud and happy to be in Lagos, noting that bringing the A1 race to Africa has always been his dream, and Nigeria has proven it is possible.
And I'm going to give a challenge to myself, to our partners, and to the government of Lagos, which is to agree for another 5 years of E1 Grand Prix in the city of Lagos.
An event that symbolized Africa's determination to turn its waters into engines of innovation, resilience, and shared prosperity. I wish to commend the city of Lagos and the Federal Republic of Nigeria for their vision in hosting this summit alongside the UIM E1 World Championship and the Mangrove Restorations Initiative.
Lydia Ajayi, Africa News 24 TV.
Mangrove as endangered species, as avancing, and then getting extended produce.
Still in Nigeria, a human rights activist, Mr. Deji Adeyonju, has petitioned the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, to investigate the financial conduct of the former sole administrator of Rivers State Vice Admiral, Ibo Kibas. According to Adeyonju, official records from the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation shows that the Rivers State received a sum of 283.3 billion naira during Ibas's short-term tenure from March to September this year. That figure excludes any internally generated revenue. According to him, the funds include 36.6 billion naira in previously withheld local government allocations from January and February, and 246.7 billion naira in state and local allocations between March and June. Despite these large inflows, Adeyonju alleges there is little or no evidence of tangible development. He points to what he calls mere cosmetic renovation of the Rivers State House of Assembly as the only visible project. The petition also accuses the IBAS administration of failing to publish the required budget performance report for the second quarter of 2025 and challenges IBAS's reported claim that he is only answerable to the President and National Assembly, not the legislature. Adeyanju is urging the ICPC to launch a full investigation into how the funds were spent, probe any possible misuse of public resources, and take action if any wrongdoing is found. And to some security stories, some states across Nigeria's southwest have heightened security following a surge in deadly attacks by suspected bandits in neighboring Kwara State. Security agencies in Oyo, Osun, Ekiti and Ondo say they've activated emergency containment strategies to block the infiltration of fleeing terrorists amid ongoing military operations in the north-central of Kwara State. For more than 2 weeks now, multiple killings in Kwara State have come under siege. Meanwhile, security operatives says coordinated efforts are on the way to secure state borders in the southwest. Traditional rulers are also stepping in. The Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Akeem Owode, has offered to assist the Kwara State government with peace-building efforts and conflict resolution. He condemned the attack and urged the federal government to bring all perpetrators to justice. At the national level, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has charged security forces to hunt down and neutralize terrorists. Speaking during a joint military exercise in Kaduna, the CDS warned that terrorism and banditry continue to pose serious threats not just to Nigeria, but across the Sahel region. He emphasized the need for regional cooperation, community engagement, and stronger cross-border coordination to defeat these armed groups. There's tragedy in Osun State, Nigeria, as a fresh graduate identified just as Taoreed has been killed by a stray bullet a day after collecting the call-up letter for his National Youth Service. The graduate of Osun State College of Technology was reportedly caught in the crossfire during an attack between rival cult groups near the Ilesha Road area of the state. According to police sources, Taoreed has visited the school that day to pick up his letter and was waiting by the roadside for a bus home when gunmen opened fire. Unaware he had been hit, he ran for safety but was later found unresponsive in a nearby bush, with his call-up letter still in his bag. This followed chaos on campus the day before when gunshots rang out during final year sign-out celebration. A student was killed, sparking a violent reprisal the next day that cost Taoreed his life. Tension is rising in Osun State's traditional institution as Monarch in Ife North local government has issued a 21-day ultimatum to the Oluwo of Iwo, Oba Abdulrasheed Akombi, demanding a full retraction of his recent allegation against the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi. The ultimatum was announced in a communique release after an emergency meeting of the Royal Council. The controversy began after a viral video surfaced on Oba Akombi's official Facebook page in which he accused the Oni of allegedly plotting to assassinate him by packaging his ex-wife against him. The traditional rulers described the comment as deeply insulting and a show of gross disrespect to the Reverend Oni, regarded as the spiritual head of the Yoruba race. They also condemned the public outburst, saying Oba Akombi's actions were damaging to the honor and integrity of Yoruba traditional institution. According to the council, such behavior brings ridicule to the thrones that the Obas represent. They have now given the Oluwo 21 days to publicly withdraw his comments and make peace, or risk undisclosed consequences from the Royal Council. The Oluwo has yet to respond officially to the ultimatum. For our business stories, Esther Ekundare is standing by.
the economy nearly $100 from the internet transportation. The aviation in the country $2 million to G, representing 7% of the household. Report that the aviation belonging to 1,000 people, more than 70 across the airport, aviation service, and factories. International business spent $200 million, and why aviation linked at another $50 million.
Right back after a short break. Please stay with us. For the entertainment news. Fawaz, what do you have for us today?
Thank you so much, Praise. Hello everyone, welcome to Africa News TV Entertainment. I am Akoshile Fawaz, and here are the trending entertainment stories from around the globe. Taylor Swift releases 12th studio album for The Life of a Showgirl. It's a huge day today for the Swifties as Grammy winner Taylor Swift releases her 12th studio album today. The last time the fans met Taylor was with her Torture's Poets Department album, which showcased a more emotional side of her, deeper meanings, her love and life experience. Now we meet a fun, witty, playful Taylor who embraces her lifestyle and acknowledges that she is the Taylor Swift. Showgirl already broken Taylor Swift's own record for pre-saves and became the first album to surpass 5 million saves on the platform before its release, which clearly shows the fans have been anticipating the album before its announcement. This album is about what was going on behind the scenes in my inner life during this tour, which was so exuberant and electric and vibrant, she said in New Heights podcast last month. The 12th track reveals a lighter, happier Swift in love with her NFL Super Bowl champion fiancé Travis Kelce. Happy to have brought back her music, Taylor Swift said, catalog, and she is proud of her own record-shattering Eras tour. In song Life of a Showgirl featuring the admirable Princess Sabrina Carpenter, she shared her life as a celebrity, being on tour, the fans, the fame, being in the spotlight through a character named Kitty. I listened to the album myself and it is one of the best this year. Big shout out to Taylor. Temi Ajibade, actress, fashion it girl and daughter of billionaire mogul Femi Otedola, is making headlines for a personal decision that's sparking conversations, swapping her famous last name for her husband. In a recent sit-down with the BBC, the style star and newlywed revealed, taking that Mr. Easy's surname was less about pressure and more about instincts. It's not something I thought deeply about before, she shared, but once I got married, it just felt like the natural thing to do. It is my personal choice, Temi said. Temi was quick to note that while this was the right path for her, she fully respects every woman's choice. As for what made her say yes to the Afrobeat superstar, Temi did not hold back, calling Mr. Easy her best friend and her best person. When you meet your person, you know, I honestly can't picture spending my life with anyone else, she gushed. The couple romance has long been adorned by fans, and their recent wedding, which lit up timelines and headlines alike, only added the buzz. Temi said she's looking forward to everything the future holds with her new husband, with Temi making waves in film and fashion, and Mr. Easy continue to conquer the global music charts. This power couple is clearly just getting started. That is all for today on African News TV Entertainment. I'll be right. See you next time, and don't forget, the world of entertainment never sleeps. Back to you, Praise.
Thank you so much, Fawaz. Thank you so much, Fawaz. And in the world of sport, in a thrilling display of cricketing prowess, Namibia and Zimbabwe have secured the spot in the 2026 Men's T20 World Cup. The stage was set in Harare, where the African qualifying tournament unfolded with drama and excitement. Namibia, the reigning champions of African cricket, took to the field with determinations in their eyes. They unleashed a powerful battling display, scoring 174-6 against Tanzania. Captain Gerhard and J.J. Smith forged an unbreakable partnership, igniting a spark that would propel Namibia to victory. The Tanzanians fought valiantly, and Namibia's bowlers proved too strong, restricting them to 111-8. The final score, Namibia wins by 63 runs. Meanwhile, host Zimbabwe were on a mission to make their mark. Kenya won the toss by batted first, posting a competitive 122-6. But Zimbabwe's Chevron were unfazed. Brian Bennett's explosive innings of 51 off 25 balls set the tone for a dominant chase. the Zimbabweans cruised to a 7-wicket victory with 5 overs to spare, securing the spot in the World Cup for the first time since 2022. The battle for African supremacy will now be decided in the tournament final on Saturday as the Namibia and Zimbabwe face off in a clash of titans. Both teams have their sights set on the 2026 Men's T20 World Cup, which will be held in India and Sri Lanka from February 7th to March 8th. The stakes are high and the drama is far from over. Nigeria's World Cup hopes are back on the track thanks to a dramatic FIFA ruling that's shaking up Group C of the African qualifiers. The Super Eagles' forward line is led by Victor Osimhen, with attacking support from Lookman and others. FIFA has overturned South Africa's 2-0 win over Lesotho from March, awarding a 3-0 victory to the Crocodiles and docking Bafana 3 points. The decision leaves Benin and South Africa tied at the top on 14 points, with Nigeria and Rwanda just behind on 11. 2 wins could secure qualification, but goal difference may decide it. Nigeria's current tally of +2 means they will need big results to reach the 2026 World Cup. The Flying Eagles of Nigeria kept their round of 16 hopes alive with a dramatic 3-2 win over Saudi Arabia in Group F action. It was a roller coaster match. Nigeria took the lead, but after a missed clear chance, the Saudis struck back quickly and Ama on a defense lapse to level at 1-1. The Flying Eagles regained control just before halftime. A mischieved cross from the loop into the top corner, making it 2-1 at the break. But once again, Nigeria's defense was caught out by a long ball early in the second half. Saudi Arabia nearly snatched the lead with another long punt that hit the post, but Nigeria kept pushing. Their persistence paid off in stoppage time when a handball in the box gave them a penalty. Captain Daniel calmly slotted it home, sealing a last-gasp 3-2 victory. The win moves Nigeria to third in the group with 3 points, just behind Colombia and Norway, who sit in 4. The Flying Eagles now face Colombia in their final group match at midnight on October 4th. And that's it on sports and the main news. Please keep it locked with us for stories across the Africa continent and across the globe. And follow us on all our social media handles showing on your screen. I am Praise Adeleke. Bye for now.